just like this intergalactic, beautiful kumbaya. Like,
very excited to talk to you all today. I just finished watching the movie last night and really enjoyed it. So I'm really excited to chat about the film, which I thought was really beautiful. Kyra, let's start with you. Tell us a little bit about, you've said that you felt that Alex's story was sort of your story, and that's one of the reasons you wanted to tell it. Explain what you meant by that.
I think that we all have ways in which we're checking out of life, ways in which we're not holding our space. And I think that it's hard and it's scary to really put yourself on the line because people die and, lovers leave and the earth is in a perilous place right now. And it's hard to put yourself in the middle and go, no, I want to be a part of this. Vulnerability is scary. And so it's easier to check out one way or another. And so that's something that I could relate to a lot, that I feel like this character is checking out. I mean, in the most like extreme of ways, but I can really relate to that.
Kyle, how did you want to portray this guy who in a way is really afraid to love in the film? What did you want to show with your performance?
Gosh. I think I just did my best to fall completely in love with space in spite of the planet as it exists. I think that's kind of the cool part about playing a character, is that I don't have to take in the entirety of the project. That's what Kyra has to do. I just fall in love with space and I run as fast as I can from anything.
Well, Alexandra, that
with Alex, aka Daisy.
That was the easy part.
Yeah, don't forget about me, babe.
Yeah. So Alexandra, so tell us, what does Daisy see in this socially awkward guy?
I think that Daisy sees a lot of herself and who she fights against in a lot of ways. Daisy comes into this with her own element of loss. It's a loss of self. It's a loss of career. And when she meets Alex, she sees this weird, endearing, kind guy, and sees herself and wants to show him how to get out of it, and in turn is showing herself how she can get out of her own pain and her own grief. And it's like, it's easier to learn when you're teaching, right? And so she's like, look at all of these fireflies, like, how beautiful is this? And he's like, oh yeah, this is beautiful. And she's like, oh yeah, this is beautiful, and really kind of trying to bring him out of his shell, and therefore is helping herself to heal her own pain and her own traumas.
Yeah. So Kyle and Alexandra, talk a little bit about working with Kyra as a director. Is there a moment that you'll remember having, put you guys on the spot there? I love doing that.
It's so fun working with Kyra. I mean, she's so loving, and I think that is a testament to her direction in the movie that we made, is to create just like a really loving and safe space, so that we can be able to create. I think that, I guess coming from an actor's perspective, that's so special and sacred to have from your director and your crew. That's how you can really create some magic.
Yeah, I think if I may, on top of creating like a wonderful environment for everyone, which I think you did, because you're also an incredible actor. I think I was initially really intimidated, and then I was like, oh, wait a second, that makes my job so much easier because you know exactly what I'm going through.
Yeah.
And you can just kind of take me where I need to go. So it's actually ended up being much, much easier. Thank you for that.
Oh,
Yes.
You're welcome.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Kyra, talk a little bit about that journey for you. I mean, you spent 35 years as an actor. What drew you to direct, and does that make a difference for you as a director?
Yes. I mean, I think that I bring to set with me all of the things that I've learned, both good and bad. I've watched directors do a really great job and directors do not a great job. I've learned from their mistakes and their successes. You know, not to say that I'm not making my own mistakes every day, but I think that being able to get inside of an actor's heart and head, like as quickly as possible, especially we had 21 days of shooting, you know, so you don't have a lot of time to help to get people to feel safe enough with you to like show you them. They need to show you their squishy bits, right? Like that's part of being an actor, is being so vulnerable. And so I feel like I have a little bit of a head start because they know that I know exactly what Kyle just said. I also think that, you know, having all that time, you know, you know, even though, you know, you're an actor, you're often looking at one small piece of the bigger picture. I was always taught to look at the bigger picture, to like be of service to the script. Like that was always like, you're a service animal, like that's what you do, you know. And you serve the script, like the play's the thing. So I always had that idea, and I think that served me well as an actor coming in as a director who always saw the bigger picture.
Yeah. So give us, for all of you, give us a little bit of a flavor behind the scenes of what it was like in 20 years when you look back on this experience. Is there a moment, a scene, it could be on screen or behind the scenes, that just kind of, you'll think, that was the moment of working on Space Oddity?
I'll just like jump in and steal this one.
Go, please.
There's this beautiful rock that we climb up that looks over the flower field at the flower farm, which is where we went to work every day. You know. But we had a couple people, our TP, everyone like had guitars and came out, and Kevin came out, and everyone just started like singing. It's like people say filming is like summer camp. That was probably the most summer camp. We were literally we were gathered around the campfire singing songs together.
Yeah, it was very kumbaya.
Yeah, it was very kumbaya. But it was beautiful because like we're not in the middle of nowhere, but there aren't a lot of places around, so we didn't have a lot of light pollution either. So it's like everyone jamming on a rock underneath a billion stars, not just like 1,000 stars, like a billion stars, and it felt just like this intergalactic, beautiful kumbaya. Like I would just sit there and look at the sky, hearing everyone harmonize, sometimes beautifully, sometimes terribly, and just being like, what is this? What is this job? How are we having fun? Like, how cool.
Yeah. I mean, totally what they said, absolutely. I think also, the town of Wickford, like Rhode Island is they're not cynical. They're not cynical about having people film there. You know, we haven't broke them yet. So, so they were tickled and thrilled to have us. And I think that, you know, it was that whole square, you know, that we filmed in. We built that gazebo there. Our production designer, Michael Fitzgerald, built that. And it was really nice because we were, you know, making a movie about a town that is loving and welcoming, and it is a loving and welcoming town. So I think that was kind of incredible, the way they were, you know, wanted to be supportive of us.
Great location scout.
Yeah.
Was that a location scout?
Yeah.
Or was it okay? Because brilliant.
Yeah, I think.
Because that was really good. Yeah.
Yeah, no, totally.
So finally, I'd love for you guys to muse a little bit. I mean, I was really thinking about the film at the beginning. I was trying to feel like, is he really going to space? Is he not going to space? Is he delusional? And then I sort of, at the end, was sort of feeling like, well, this is really almost like a metaphor about, you know, human connection. And I'd love for you guys to talk a little bit about what you think the meaning of the film is and kind of help me understand it a little bit better.
Do either of you want to answer that?
Toss that right back
Okay.
to you.
Okay. Well, I think that what's beautiful about this movie is that he had this idea about going to space, but it doesn't really matter if he was actually going to be able to go to space or not, you know? And in my mind, I was like, it's fake, right? But the reality is it doesn't matter if what the program he was signing up for was real or not. It was the intention behind it, you know? And this idea of escaping, it's this escapism that he was just almost circling the drain about the entire time. This movie was about running away and trying to find reasons for not doing that, or having those reasons kind of thrown in your face in the form of a lovely young lady to really kind of pull you out of that. And I think that there's something so beautiful about that is so relatable. It's why I related to this script, and I think it's why an audience will relate to this movie, is because what it's about is him wanting to go to space, right? But what it's really about is escaping your problems and your issues, and understanding that you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that alone. That you're able to be loved. You're able to be celebrated and accepted, and that's okay. I think that that's something as human beings we have to remind ourselves of on a daily basis. And that's the beauty of film, is we get to do that for that finite hour and a half. We can kind of change your mind.
Yeah, and I'll just, add to that I feel like it is so scary. The world is a scary place, but we will not get through it unless we're together, unless there's connection. And like, that's what this family's all trying to deal with their grief separated. And I think that what ultimately happens is that people's hearts get cracked open and they get reconnected, and that's what heals them, right? And that through that healing, we will heal the planet, like through loving the planet and wanting to be here. And like, to me, this is love letter to the planet, this film. It's almost like a call to action, because he goes like, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to try and fix what's here.